Restless fans, we finally got another recap. I know we took a hiatus yesterday, but we got to talk about today's episode. Audra refuses to collude with Tucker, but she chooses to have sex with him. Nate pitches to Daniel, and Victoria and Victor want to go after Tucker's company. Welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS Soaps, both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. This is your Young and the Restless recap for January 26th. And without any further ado, let's talk about what went down in Genoa City. Okay, let's start off by talking about Tucker and Daniel. So Tucker told Daniel that he's been hearing great things about his gaming venture, and Daniel asked, from where? And you know it's from your big mouth mama Phyllis, just what Tucker told him. Well, minus the big mouth part. However, Tucker offered to be his backer, and Daniel is looking at him like he need to pop in an antacid. However, Daniel told him, dazzle me. So now over at Newman Media, Nate and Audra are talking business back in the office, and I'm wondering how soon it's going to be before she has his job and Nick come knocking at her door offering up more of AKA Newman benefits, wink wink, and Nick showing her his 401k like Sally did. However, he wants her to sit in on the meeting with Daniel. And look who's knocking at the door, Big Mouth Phyllis. Nate introduced her to Audra as Daniel's mom and the person that set up the meeting. Shouldn't Daniel be there? Anyway, Phyllis was ready to proceed now. Now, Nate asked her if they need to wait for Daniel, and, he want to hear his vision directly. Daniel has to learn the hard way, I guess, like Summer. Now, she told Nate that she's handling all of his business matters, and Phyllis left, and Audra brought up the deal between Daniel and Chancellor Winters, and Nate is asking, why is Phyllis coming to them? You know why? Because she can be real messy. Aw, poor Sally. Why so sad, Sally? I'm guessing Victor got the Jill because she canceled on Sally. And after Sally flew all the way to Los Angeles, and, hopefully Sally is going to tell Nick, and he would put 2 and 2 together and figure out that Victor has something to do with it. And we all know he did. But I know that's asking a lot, but she does have a conversation with Nick. For Diane, this is the life. Diane is sashaying around the Abbott house, thinking of her and Jack in bed. Jack walked in and asked, what's that smile on your face about? It's about you, Jackie. And he said that it's probably the same thing that's putting a smile on his face. They're both just blushing. But uh-oh. Here comes Summer and Kyle downstairs. And then Summer said, Diane, you're here awfully early. And then Jack informed her that Diane spent the night. Not that Jack has to explain anything to her. I mean, Jack's name is on the Abbott mansion. Why don't you guys move and get your own house and your own name? However, Kyle was asking, is it because Diane is still in danger is why she's here? Jack said, no. He and Diane are romantically involved. Summer, close your mouth before a big old bug fly in it. Now, Diane told Kyle that this wasn't what she was expecting. Sure, Diane. And that she came back to connect with him. Kyle said that, I wasn't ready to fully embrace the idea, but they seem happy and he's all for that. Okay, so while Tucker is trying to impress Daniel, Lily shows up over at Crimson Lights and is spying on the two of them. Now, Tucker is making his pitch to help Daniel achieve his goal. Lily came to the table and said, look, I heard your not so subtle pitch. And she told Tucker that, excuse me, but Daniel is under a contract. Somebody also needs to remind his mother. Now, Lily told Daniel about the plant Tucker put in their office to spy on them. And Lily told Daniel she can't move forward until she settled that whole IPO situation. Daniel, however, said, that's what's making me a little bit nervous about this whole thing. And Lily was like, look, just give me a week. So obviously it looks like Kyle and Summer is feeling some kind of way about Kyle's parents. Summer told Kyle that she guesses her mom Phyllis was right, that Diane had her sights on Jack all along. Kyle is afraid that it just won't last, and Summer said every time her parents got back together, it always crashed and burned. Yeah, that's what happened to all your mother's relationships, Summer. Only relationship she maintains is the one that she makes when she's doing bad things. Speaking of Phyllis, Tucker runs into Phyllis and said that he had a very productive meeting with Daniel, and she didn't like that Tucker went behind her back. And he shot back that, didn't you do the same thing by going to Nate? Oop, he got you there. And she demanded that Tucker stay away from Daniel. Now, while Tucker is sneaking around town, Nikki, Victor, and Nick meet Victoria in her office to discuss Tucker's motives. Now, Victoria wonders why he's even in town and what's his next target. Now, Victor says his company is under a mountain of debt since he's been spending like crazy. Now, this surprises Nikki, but Vic says that he took out a number of short-term loans and the debts are coming due. And he's looking to expand the business by couping a lucrative company. Now, Nick brings up Newman Media and hiring Audra Charles, and they need to be wary of her allegiances. He won't put deception past her. They don't know her and that relationship with Tucker, and Victor thinks that, you know what? Let's just let her keep her working with Tucker. It could be to their advantage. Now, Victoria thinks that it'll force him to be on his guard. Now, she wants to go after McCall Unlimited, but Nick, nah, he thinks that it'll make him a dangerous adversary and they can swoop in and pick up the pieces when it all fall apart. Now, Victor thinks it'll be a golden opportunity and it'll fit into their portfolio. Once the kids leave, Nikki asks Victor why he specifically wants to go after Tucker. He thinks one of the divisions would be of interest to Adam when he comes back. So he hopes. And that's what Nikki said too, if he comes back. Messy, one big old mess. Nate and Audra just bumped into Lily and Daniel, and Nate told him about the conversation he had with his mom. Now, Lily is mad, accusing Daniel of going behind her back. Daniel said Phyllis acted on her own and told Nate he's sorry that Phyllis wasted her time. Ooh, somebody's in trouble, and Phyllis is the one. Daniel went to visit his mom to read her the riot act and says that they are not partners. She works for him. And he's starting to even question why he even hired her in the first place. I hate I told you so, but you know what? I told you so. And Summer also told you so. Okay, Jack and Diane, yeah, they went at it again. I mean, what's that saying? Just because there's some snow on the roof doesn't mean that there's no fire in the furnace, or maybe even with Geritol or Viagra on the nightstand. Yeah, these two can't keep their hands off of each other, to Kyle's dismay. And you want to talk about more loving in the afternoon? Let's head over to Tucker's room over at the Grand Phoenix. Audra arrives and he apologized for the last time they met. She asks, why am I here? And he asks if she knows about Newman Media pursuit of Daniel Romalotti gaming platform. Ah, there it is right there. She can see that he wants to collude with her, but thinks that he should just mend the rift with his son or with Ashley. Now, she thinks this was all a bunch of BS, wanting to make things right with them. However, Tucker claims, look, I'm sincere. I need to do something. And Audra tells him, just keep your hands off of it. And of course, Tucker laughed at her. He misses her and he calls them good friends. She clarifies, that was past tense. And he drops to his knees and puts his head on her thigh and asks for a reset. And he kisses her leg and caresses her before pulling him roughly toward him. And then they make out. And finally, Chelsea and Billy. Chelsea got the red light, not the green light, to do the podcast, according to Dr. Malone. And of course, Billy agreed, it's a little too soon. However, they decide to walk to the park and talk about his future and her perspective on him. Now, Billy talks about being jobless and have a lot of time on his hand to think about it. Being with her, however, is the highlight of his day. And they talk about their struggles and the search for their saving grace, and they both struck out on love, and of course Chelsea laughs at that. But we can definitely tell that the two of them are moving ever so close to be in a romance. The question is, how's Adam going to deal with all of this? Okay, so there you have it, your Young and the Restless rant/recap for Thursday, January 26, 2023. If you haven't checked out the bold and the beautiful recap for today, it has been uploaded to the channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.